That's what you could say.
Rob's like, shut up.
I'm just fucking goes. You! Get your hand out of your pants.
Please put your tray table up. Put the crack pipe down.
You're the least without sin person I know.
Errol, we are on the air right now.
Oh, I was digging for gold.
Wow! That's what's eating Gilbert Grape, my friends.
Well, listen, call me casual, but I love to take my time.
I don't know where your head ends and this weird turtleneck sweater begins.
Speaking of which, whatever happened to that porn star you were dating?
Oh my god, it's huge.
And now,
It's West.
by Midwest.
Episode 40. Today is Veterans Day, Monday, November 11th, 2013. I'm Chuck Anchori, broadcasting live from Los Angeles, California.
I'm Errol Gribble. I'm broadcasting live from Lansing, Michigan. And we have our producer, Robert Wardwell Hubbard, broadcasting live from
Chelsea, Michigan.
Chelsea, Michigan. Chucky, we're so serious on that, like, episode 40.
It's a very serious day.
Folks, we are on Google Hangouts, Google Plus Hangouts. We record live every Monday night. If you like our Facebook page, then you'll see the link. You can hang out with us, ask us questions, and watch us as we stumble through the podcast.
Right, and if you miss the live broadcast of the podcast on Google Plus, you can always subscribe, stream, or download the episode on iTunes. So just search West X Midwest on iTunes, and you'll find past shows and the current show. This podcast is brought to you by Ed Grabo. If you thought the typhoon was bad, you should see this guy after a 3-day LSD binge. Thousands dead. Ed Grabo. That is so stupid.
Thousands dead. Ed Grabo.
I couldn't even get through that at all.
When you wrote that, I was like, that's awful. Anyway, folks, stick around. After Chuck and I get done being horribly offensive, we've got an amazing guest on this week, blogger Dori Katz, who's actually blogging right now during the podcast. So if you go check her out at jgdiaries.com, you can read all the blogs and you'll know what we're talking about when she gets here.
Awesome.
I don't want to give away any of the surprises, but just so you know, it's a really funny blog. It's a lot funnier than this podcast.
Speaking of the typhoon,
Typhoon Yolanda.
But it's Typhoon Haiyan, right? Or
yes,
also
I don't
known
know
as-
why it's also known as, like, Americans can't pronounce it, so we're like,
Right.
what's a weird name? Yolanda? Done.
Typhoon Haiyan's Christian name was Yolanda, so they just changed it.
Her baptism name.
Yeah, crazy typhoon over the weekend in the Philippines. Thousands feared dead.
Yeah,
I mean, it's like reported.
this is not funny at all, but I feel like
No,
we
it's not funny.
You know, we have our moments because we are, taking up space on the internet. I think that we should spend some time trying to at least raise awareness. Plus, as a fellow Filipino, Chuck, I was worried. I thought you might have family that was in danger, but all your family and stuff is okay.
North of where the typhoon hit. Yeah,
Okay,
it was,
that's good.
It was southern islands of the Philippines, but
just ravaged.
even though it's reported that 1,000 people are reported dead, like they're fearing that it's in the 10,000s.
Wow.
So
yeah, right. They say it's 10 times more. It's a super typhoon. Super cyclone.
No. What's a cyclone is a hurricane, right?
Yeah. Well, a typhoon is a hurricane. It's the same thing.
What's the difference then?
There's no difference. It's a regional thing. It's like how I eat submarine sandwiches and you have a hero.
No, it's not like that. Typhoons, like they develop over on water or something that.
That is exactly what it is. Typhoons, hurricanes, cyclones. It's just depending on the region of the country or the part of the planet that you're in.
No,
right?
I thought that hurricanes, originated on land, whereas typhoons.
No,
started-
a hurricane does not originate on land.
You're saying that twisters don't like just start up on land?
That's
and
a
then they-
twister. That's a tornado. That's not a hurricane.
Okay. So hurricanes are. They have like
We're the dumbest people on the planet.
hurricanes are mixed with rain, right? It's like hurricane.
It's not a water spout.
It's a tornado with rain. That's a hurricane.
That's a hurricane a tornado is like a strong, small, little. A hurricane is you know what a fucking hurricane is. Katrina, Yolanda. But Yolanda's a typhoon.
Yolanda's a typhoon, please.
Because of like because she originated in a certain ocean, I think.
Pacific Ocean.
I don't know, but I think like I think like Japan and stuff gets cyclones.
So what's the difference between a cyclone? It's just called a cyclone because that's what they call it. It's
what
hurricane.
they call it. So it's like I call it a hand job. You call it
a handy. We need to get. We need to get
a Palmer. I don't know. Like it's the same.
A Palmer. We need to get a meteorologist on the show to straighten this out.
So folks,
just
help.
Do your part and help out.
Do
and
your
text
part. Yes.
Typhoon. The word typhoon, not hurricane.
Not cyclone. Text
or cyclone. Typhoon to 80888 to donate $10 or more to the Salvation Army.
Yes.
No, the Salvation Army, that's all a scam, isn't it? It's like if you donate my $10 that I text to the Salvation Army, $8.50 is probably going to go to like these bell ringers and
bell ringing Santas.
Cats and these
100% of all 100% of all disaster donations will be used for relief efforts and, quote, to immediately meet the specific needs of disaster survivors, okay?
Are you sure?
Yes, nobody's scamming. People are in dire straits in the Philippines, and you're worried about a fucking bell-ringing Santa taking somebody's $8.50.
What about Susan B. Komen? That's a scam.
It's not. Why is that a scam?
Because they only give like 2% to research.
Breast cancer?
Yeah, the rest of it goes into their marketing and their advertising. It's like one of the worst charities that you can donate to because it's all. You know what?
So is the American Cancer Society.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, like they're the guy who like their vice president or president or whatever is like the highest paid president of a nonprofit organization on the planet.
Yeah, exactly.
And I used to do cold calling for them, and I got paid like $9 an hour or something just to call people and be like, "Hi, I'm calling from the American Cancer Society. Would you like to donate money to cancer?" No, click. $9 later. Like, yeah, that money ain't going to help cancer survivors. Anyway.
Well, I guess
I did some fact checking, and Errol is correct. Cyclones and typhoons and hurricanes are all the same phenomenon.
Really?
Rob Hubbard's 10-minute later fact check service.
Well, it takes some time to fact check, all right?
Absolutely. Google takes hundredths of a second.
Well, no, that's good, Rob. Thank you so much.
Oh, thank you. So they're all the same.
We're just.
Tornado is on land, so
absolutely.
You
know what the regions, like what each region. So like, where would you have a cyclone?
That's asking too much.
Oh God, he's back. See. He's buried. He is back in the interwebs.
I didn't go that far. I just wanted to confirm or disconfirm.
It's so weird that they have 3 different names for a hurricane.
I got 3 different names for my genitals. And no, you can't find out what they are.
Northwestern Pacific is typhoons. Atlantic and Northern Pacifics are hurricanes.
Hurricanes.
Northern Indian Ocean, they're called severe cyclonic storms.
Okay, there you go.
Cyclones.
So this one is a super typhoon, though, because it's like a superstorm.
Yeah, it was bigger than Katrina, wasn't it?
Absolutely. One of the biggest ones to hit the planet in centuries.
So help out my fellow Filipinos.
Please.
And text typhoon to 80888.
There you go, $10, or give online. And in fact, if you're like Chuck and you don't trust the Salvation Army, there are like just so many different ways that you can give. So go online and help out. So
Definitely.
Chuck, where have you been all week? Like you didn't share this week's or last week's podcast online. You gave there's no news stories from you. Like
Yeah, there was absolutely no prep involved this week because
no, where have you been? What's happening?
I was in Las Vegas, just holed up in a 15-passenger van over the weekend, running the.
You got kidnapped? What happened?
I was in a rape van. No, it was a 200-mile team relay that I participated in this weekend in Las Vegas. It's called Ragnar Relay. Ragnar Relay, and it was an amazing experience, and I loved every second of it. It was awesome. But I was just so we were.
I don't understand you.
When you weren't running, you were either traveling to the next exchange or providing support to the current runner or whatever. But yeah, it was a 20. But we completed it in about 29 hours. But yeah, it was a continuous relay where we ran 200 miles. We started at the Las Vegas Ski and Snowboarding Resort and wound up in like Henderson, Nevada, which is next to the Strip. And yeah.
Oh, cool. So for
awesome.
over a day, like 29 hours.
Took us 29 hours. Yeah, we started
running, or you're like helping somebody else run.
Right.
You got done, and then what? You hit the casinos? Like what do you?
Yeah.
Like how do you not pass out? But you didn't. You like kept partying.
That was it was nuts because you're either driving and even if you are tired, there's still and want to sleep, there's still 5 other people in your van, so it's almost virtually impossible to sleep because everyone's just whatever, doing stuff or talking or so it was just crazy and I had no idea what I was getting into, but it turned out to be one of the most amazing experiences.
Define doing stuff.
Well, here's the thing. Speaking of doing stuff, as you know, I work at a medical marijuana dispensary, and I don't, and I like to partake in the.
Chuck's got glaucoma.
I like to smoke weed, and I didn't.
He has anxiety problems.
We're going to Las Vegas, and I'm like, man, it's Vegas. You gotta party and hang out, and so I brought my marijuana, but I didn't really know how to. I didn't know if I could broach the subject or even.
Oh yeah, you can't
because
be that guy.
Well, it's not even and it's not even that. It's like these could be all serious athletes who are taking this race or relay very seriously, and they're like, "What's up with the fucking degenerate pothead?"
Fucking relay. Like, how many folks are in your?
12 total. We had a team of 12.
So you're like, hey, the 12th guy on the fucking circuit is a pothead.
What's up with 12th man over there? He's
How
fucking
can we get rid of the 12th without the fucking dead weight?
Taking bong rips in the back of the van.
But so what did you do, man?
No,
you went like a whole week without smoking.
I went the whole time without smoking, which was okay because I was high on Ragnar, man. It was so fun and so awesome.
I don't know who you are anymore.
Once everyone started to leave, I'm in our hotel at the Venetian, and I'm getting ready to pack up and leave. I decided to just spark up the vaporizer and smoke, and it turned out that the 2 of the SoCal teammates, which were in the adjoining room, smelled a little scent coming from the room, and I totally got busted, and they were like, "How did you hold it in?" So yeah, it was pretty silly, but
awesome.
Rob, we got to run a Ragnar, my friend. I'm telling you.
So I'm never running anything with you. Why
not?
Unless we're being chased by zombies or something. I'm not fucking running.
Should do one of those too.
Rob Hubbard.
No, I'm not doing any more of those. I'm not doing any more of those little fruity zombie runs or Tough Mudders or whatever.
I mean,
I'm straight
like real
Ragnar now, baby.
Like Apocalypse is the only time I'm running. You know what? I will probably end up dying because I'm not in shape. That's fine. Eat my corpse, okay? You guys can survive off of me for months.
A lot of months.
A lot of months. Years turning in. Anyway,
but as soon as I got back from Las Vegas after just this crazy whirlwind trip to Las Vegas and this 200-mile relay,
getting high off of life.
My high on running and life and friendship, camaraderie and teamwork.
I hate everything about you.
I have a friend visiting, actually from Michigan, Plymouth, Michigan,
Oh.
visiting LA. He's out here for the AFM conference, which is a filmmakers conference out here in Santa Monica, visiting
Is that
from the
what
Midwest.
AFM stands for? Filmmakers Conference?
Something like that. I don't know what it is
I
exactly.
don't care.
I didn't go, but it's his first time in Los Angeles, and
Oh, so you had to do all the touristy things.
did a couple touristy things today, which were pretty funny. We went to we took the studio tour at Warner Brothers, which is
Nice.
I've done. I think this is the third time that I've taken the studio tour, but it was so funny because we were driving down the lot between a couple of sound stages, and my buddy Adam, who's here, he spotted it was Ashley Tisdale walking down the star of Sweet Life, Sweet Life, Zack and Cody,
Sweet Life.
High School Musicals, or I don't know. But she's on a couple of those shows. And we both just turned around and like shout had a whisper kind of shout. We were both just like Ashley, and she totally turned around and we both waved at her at the same time. Like,
oh my God!
unison, and she gave us the biggest fucking stink face ever. She was just like, I think she was like expecting to see someone important or someone that she knew that was like trying to get her attention, but it was really just these two idiots like on a fucking tour.
At least I think she was probably thinking I would see some like legitimate like fans, like children or girls, instead of like two creepy like 30-year-old men
sitting on the back.
Ashley, I think you're really cute. Like, that's gross. Anyway.
And I took him to the Hollywood Walk of Fame as well at Hollywood Highland Center, where
cool.
where the costume characters are. And
right. So he saw the homeless Superman.
Yeah, it's just like it's so. Gosh, it's Errol. Like as much as I sit here and I'm like, what the fuck am I doing with my life? It's like there's these people that are playing like, kind of like bootleg Mickey Mouse and like.
That's why bootleg Mickey Mouse. I love him.
There was a guy out there that
Johnny
was
Depp pirate who's like.
It was funny because there was the Johnny Depp pirate from Pirates of the Caribbean, and then Johnny Depp, Willy Wonka. They were like talking to each other, and we're like, oh my God, this is so. And then they had
two Depps talking, and their costumes are like ragged.
They're terrible. And
it looks like they haven't like bathed in weeks.
Yeah, and
they're just trying to scam money off of people for pictures.
Taking pictures, yeah.
Like you can't take if you try to take their picture, they get hostile.
They get mad.
Yeah, they're like, you got to pay for that. You're like, no, I don't. You're a person standing on a street in a costume.
Right, and not even a good one, fake Tinkerbell. I'm not going to give you $1, okay? It's like, you know what I mean? It's like fake Tinkerbell out there had like just like some random green dress from like Old Navy, and then like just those strap-on wings you get at Party City or some shit, and she's just like, I'm Tinkerbell.
I'm Tinkerbell. She smells like a meth lab.
Yeah, it's awful. So, oh God.
Los Angeles.
He's loving every second of it, though, and
I'm
sure.
Just
gonna see it was warm today in LA, but it got a little colder at night. What's going on there?
We had our first snow in Michigan, my friend.
What? Like it stuck? Like the snow is sticking?
Outside I don't know about you down in Chelsea, Rob, but
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we've got like a quarter inch or something out there.
Oh, we didn't get that much. We just have a thin layer, but everything's iced over.
Oh, for real? Yeah, we got snow, not so much ice.
You better be careful for that black ice.
Black ice? I was scared driving back. I was like, man, you can't see. Black ice.
It's coming at you. It's going to take you out.
Hey, so speaking of getting high from running, Chuck, I forgot to tell you, because I don't get high from running or drugs or alcohol anymore. The only way I get high is by eating disgusting food.
Yeah.
I tried a fucking barbecue ranch McDonald's dollar burger.
Oh, well, I tried the bacon McDouble.
Did you?
Yeah.
How was the bacon McDouble?
It was good. It was a McDouble, which is delicious. It's got
Yes.
2 patties, 2 slices of cheese, add 2 slices of bacon.
For
and
$1.
heaven.
I couldn't do
Got
it.
heaven.
I was like, really? $1 for 2 slices of bacon? I ain't made out of money.
What about the barbecue chicken, pork, whatever
So
sandwich?
it's this weird barbecue ranch sauce, which is
Okay.
all right. It's kind of Chipotle-esque. It's got a smoky flavor. And then, I shit you not, like just tortilla chips.
Like Lay's?
Like Lay's, like a cheap Lay's tortilla.
Fritos.
Like Frito-Lay's.
Fritos. Is that what they're called?
Fritos? I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's like little tortilla strips.
And then-
on a
and then
burger.
chicken. Oh, on a burger.
Yeah. So it's
Not
like
bad.
cheese, that sauce, and the fucking. It's like a what a third grader does with their lunch. Like that's what
They
I ate.
mix stuff up. They mix it up
Yeah.
until it's like a light brown sauce. Nobody knows exactly what it is, and then you
Hey.
throw some chips on it.
So are you gonna talk about the Groupon that you saw this week?
Oh yeah, you won't believe this. I mean, this is another one of those things that's just like you would find this in LA. Actually, it was on Lifebooker, which is kind of like a Groupon living social site, but I saw a Groupon for $950 G-spot enhancement and $1,400 labiaplasty.
Oh, what is that?
Labiaplasty is
Is it what I think it is?
It's a cosmetic surgery to, it's like a minimally invasive procedure that reshapes the vaginal lips to improve comfort and enhance sexual function.
So you're getting your labia unloosened. Is it for like after pregnancy or?
Yeah, I guess. Yeah,
I
definitely
guess
after-
I don't.
I mean,
love
like,
is that there's a Groupon for it.
I know,
like-
this is happening enough that they're like, hey, enough people buy this Groupon. It's the deal is on, and
Right.
it's like,
The competition for labiaplasty is so high that somebody's got to be like, we got to get more folks in our place. You know how? Groupon.
oh. But what I want to, this is, I always thought the G-spot was a myth, all right? But I guess they offer this G-spot enhancement procedure where,
I always thought the G-spot was a myth. You're the worst lover ever.
I guess they
Ladies, if you're looking for a man who can satisfy you, don't look
look elsewhere.
Look
Wait a second.
elsewhere.
After the area is numbed with an optional local anesthetic, the G-spot zone will be injected with hyaluronic acid, a filler that's commonly used to plump wrinkles on the face. The filler enlarges the area to the diameter of a quarter,
Hello.
making it much easier to locate. The
Oh,
entire
there
treatment
you
only
go.
takes 25 minutes, yeah.
So,
Get
ladies,
busy as soon as 4 hours.
what? 4 hours?
Yeah, 4 hours from the surgery, you can go ahead and
That's all it takes.
have your coitus, and while
It
you're
is-
at it, clean up your labia, dude. Get your Is that
Get
so?
your labia, get your twat tightened.
So would you say that men who have like penile implants is like that kind of like is equal to a labiaplasty, or would you say that pretty soon we're going to be having Groupons that are like get a scrotum lift or what? You know what I mean? Like what is that?
Well, there
what
is that, right? There's like scrotum like de-wrinkling, right? We talked about that before.
Yeah, we did talk about the de-wrinkling, but
Yeah, like I feel like that's what the labia is closer to. Although I feel like it would also enhance a woman's and a man's pleasure if the labia was tightened.
how do you? I mean, you're just making assumptions, dude.
I do.
People-
You know what assumption?
People can be totally into that.
Makes
I'm
an ass
totally-
out of you and me.
Let me get that labia. That's
Easy. So speaking of genitals, a testicle-eating fish was found in an Illinois lake. Huge monster washes up shore near Chicago. Yeah, an Illinois. Go ahead.
how do they know that it just wants? I mean, like this thing focuses on your testicles and goes straight at it.
Just go straight for him.
What's going on?
An Illinois fisherman got much more than he bargained for when a mysterious fish he found washed up on his backyard earlier this week. It turned out to be a tropical fish known for mistaking human testicles for food.
Oh.
Jim DePersia, a Chicago retiree whose home sits on the shores of Cedar Lake in Illinois, found the dead fish in his backyard when it washed up on shore and thought he had found a regular piranha. The fish, which tipped the scale at 7 pounds and measured 20 inches long, was actually a pacu. The pacu, a cousin of the piranha, is known to mistake human testicle for tree nuts as a staple of its diet. Sorry.
They do resemble tree nuts, for sure.
They do resemble tree nuts. I can see how he would be mistaken. The species was blamed for the death of 2 men in New Guinea back in 2011 when a pacu bit their testicles and they suffered severe blood loss. So, yeah, these things, they get a little confused, they get a little hungry, and nut your trees. The DePersia plans to keep his find and use to scare off unwanted visitors at his home.
He's gonna use a pacu as a weapon, huh?
Yeah, quote, he says, I'll probably stuff it and put it on my porch there when I get it done.
So, I mean, oh God. So the pacu's not native to Illinois.
No, they think that it probably just washed up, like somebody dumped it because they had it as a pet and they didn't want it anymore, so they put it into the lake, and then,
right.
It's not its natural habitat, so after it grew real big, it died and washed ashore.
Bit some dude's nuts off.
Bit some dude's tree nuts.
I would not like to have a pacu as a pet, all right? That'd be too scary.
I don't want anything that's going to mistake my testicles for food.
However, in this day and age, if a pacu were to bite my testicles off, I could look to Groupon.com to have
and find a way to
testicle reconstructive surgery. This is a terrible story, Errol. A man died after drinking what he thought was a health drink.
Oh no!
That turned out to be liquid meth.
Oh, what?
Romano Diaz, who lived in Cambridge, England, died shortly after taking a gulp from a glass poured from the bottle which had been given to him by his daughter. The 55-year-old's partner, Deborah Dawson, told an inquest into his death that after drinking from the glass, he said, "I'm in trouble here. I am dying. I am dead."
Oh! I mean, I've said that when I've been too high, but
that's what I'm thinking was like happening. He was starting the effects of the meth or whatever, the liquid meth were kind of taking over his brain or whatever.
Right, like paranoia is setting in hardcore. Yeah. He's like, I'm dead. I'm dead.
I'm dead.
I'm dead. Well, it turned out he was right, huh?
The bottle, which was determined to contain liquid methamphetamine worth
$54,000,
was part of a package.
God.
Yeah, it was part of a package sent to Mr. Diaz's daughter, Katie, in London, the Cambridge News reported. Because the package was not addressed to her, she left it for 6 months, presuming someone would come to collect it before eventually opening it to find the bottle. And this is where it gets really weird. Okay, so that she had the package, it was sitting at her place for 6 months, and she decided to open it, finding this weird bottle. 3 years later, she just gives the bottle to her father, who just drinks it out of nowhere.
What?
Yeah, and that's how he died. Class A drug crystal meth, brought to the attention of TV viewers by a hit show Breaking Bad, is rarely found in the UK, even more so in liquid form. But, you know...
Yeah, I've never heard of liquid crystal meth.
Yeah, and the detective, Ian Simmons, told the inquest, the article, I would say it's highly likely that the bottle was destined for a dealer. So yeah, that's kind of obvious.
$54,000, like a whole, like I imagine it's probably the same as like getting a whole bottle of like liquid acid.
Yeah.
You know,
but see, that's where it's so weird, Errol, because it's like this unmarked bottle. They don't know what it is.
Yeah. Why do they think it's a health drink?
Why was it like, like I'm just going to hand this to my dad 3 years later, and the man who knows that it's been sitting in her apartment or in this box for 3 years and 6 months just unwittingly drinks it.
Right? No matter what it is, you're not going to drink something that's been sitting there for 3 years.
Right. So as tragic as this story is, I was just confused by the behavior of this entire family. Like I was
Right,
just
like even like a can of Coke, right? If you know it's been, you're like, oh fuck, this
Right.
this has been sitting in our garage for 3 years. Do you think it's still good? Like, you're not gonna open that bottle up, or you're gonna crack that can open and.
Yeah, exactly. If you were to crack a 3-year-old can of Crystal Pepsi, you would probably die.
Yes.
So this guy, he doesn't even know what the drink is. It could have been gasoline, and you just like sucked it down like it was a Gatorade.
Right. What are you thinking?
Um,
Oh man, you know what
yeah.
though? I would love to drink a bunch of liquid methamphetamines.
Why?
I don't know. I think I've been tired recently. Been bored.
I'm bored. I'm bored right now. I want to die.
So, Miss Deborah Dulson, if you have anything left from the bottle, send it
Yeah.
on over to West by Midwest. Check an Hill. I'm in trouble here.
I don't care if it's unmarked or not. I'll drink it. I'm gonna play shit like Romano Diaz.
Why did they? I
Jesus.
don't understand why they thought it was a health drink.
Yeah, there's nothing that explains a lot of this behavior. It's like it's why didn't she write return to sender
Right.
and leave it
Like,
on her
oh, this
door?
isn't mine.
Yeah,
That's
this
why it
is
makes
my-
me think like she knew what it was, and because you only need like such small doses of it to get high, she's like, she still has. But 3 years though.
3 years, and then even after 6 months, like she just opens this package up.
I don't
Like,
know, folks. If you're listening,
very.
help us figure this out. If you have ever done liquid methamphetamine,
If
tell
you
us
know
what
the
it's like.
Diaz family, please report them to Unsolved Mysteries.
Hey, so porn stars would have to wear goggles under a new draft of a California bill.
What? In addition to condoms?
Yeah. Measure B of Bill AB 640. It actually is stalled in the Senate, but the most recent proposed draft would, in addition to mandating condom use, require that, quote, personal protective equipment be used to prevent contact of an employee's eye, skin, mucous membranes, or genitals with the blood or oppim sty of another.
What's Oppenstein?
Oppim sty is defined by OSHA as pre-ejaculate,
Oh,
ejaculate,
shit.
semen, vaginal secretions, fecal matter and rectal secretions,
Ooh.
secretions from wounds or sores that are potentially infected with sexually transmitted pathogens,
Oh, God, that's terrible.
any other bodily fluid when visibly contaminated with blood, or all bodily fluids in situations where it is difficult or impossible to differentiate between bodily fluids.
Oh, my God.
So all
Oppenstein.
that boudissy is boudissy fluid, man.
Ooh,
Booty,
okay.
dick, and pussy fluid.
So it's not bad. It's already bad enough that I gotta watch these porn stars have sex with condoms on. I don't want to see that.
The goggles?
That now they're gonna have goggles on so
Right.
that they don't get.
Like, now the only porn that's going to be made is, like, lab room porn.
Yeah, it's gonna be
Or, like,
scientist porn.
right, or, like, working in the shop. Like, hey, we're in wood shop class.
Oh, I
Let's
got a
have
wood
sex.
for you.
I got a wood for you.
Oh,
We could do this. We're gonna like break the market right open, folks. If you need Chuck and I to write some like goggle friendly pornography, we're
We'll
on
make
it.
that happen for
We
you.
will make it happen.
Gosh, if it.
Sorry, go ahead.
This is just ruining the romance of, classic pornography films. It's just like I've got.
Do you think they have to like put the goggles on the whole time, or is it like right before?
Right. It's just sort of like right before ejaculation, they just like slip on these goggles. Oh man.
This is probably the most disgusting episode we've ever done, which is funny because our guest this week is a mom who blogs about her children. So I am ashamed and mortified that we have her on, but I'm also really excited. So, ladies and gentlemen, without any further ado, this week's guest, Ms. Dori Katz, the blog author of the, quote, Jane Goodall Diaries, Observations in the Land of Boy.
Woo!
Thanks for
Hi,
coming on the show.
everybody.
Hi, Dori. Thanks for being here.
I learned a lot during the first part of your show.
You did?
I don't know if that's a good thing. I don't think that's good.
Now I know my labia really needs some work.
Oh no, I'm
Well,
sure.
I don't think that it does, but if you're looking for a way to save money on it,
There's a Groupon.
there's a Groupon. I don't know if it's available for the Cleveland area,
Oh, well, you know.
which is where you're joining us from, yes?
That's correct. Yes, hello from snowy Cleveland.
Yay, my
Are you
hometown.
snowy? How much snow y'all got down there?
We have about 3 inches on the ground.
Oh, shit.
Lake effect.
Yeah, I know. Well,
Oh,
I'm
that's
on
right.
the side, so probably downtown is sunny, but right now it's we got some snow. I wasn't ready. I had no scraper or anything to clear
Oh,
off.
jeez.
So,
I don't miss that. I'll tell you that much.
I know.
Yeah.
I'm old because I really dread winter right now.
I think everybody dreads winter,
I
except Chuck.
I grew up in Michigan. I used to love the winter. It was so much fun, and now I just really, I don't know. I think I need antidepressants.
Oh no.
Well, West by Midwest is the best antidepressant we got.
I know. But at least I'm not covered in what's that juice that comes out of booties and dicks?
Open
Boudicca
style.
juice?
Yes, at least I don't have to watch bad porn with condoms and Boudicca juice, so that's good.
And then goggles. Well,
Goggles.
you know, I think goggles are sexy, so I'm all set.
Yeah, something for everyone.
Yeah, the lab theme, that could be good.
Absolutely. So we have Dori on the show not just to talk about porn, but because she has an amazing blog that she writes, which is, it's funny that you're talking about your depression because your family seems both super happy and hilarious.
Yeah.
And we were lucky enough to have you on the show because she is yet another connection that we have from Rob. You all are cousins, yes?
Yeah, we grew up hanging out. He was my cute little blonde cousin.
Now he's bald and miserable.
The most time I ever spent with Rob was the summer that my mom insisted we all go to vacation Bible school together for
Ooh, how was that?
it was hell on earth. What do you Rob? I thought it was horrible. But you had to stay at my house for like 2 weeks and go to church every day.
Oh my God.
Like shortly after that, my mother never took me to church again. I think I got kicked out.
Oh man.
So anyway, yes, no, Rob and I grew up and we saw each other a lot.
Rob, how was Bible camp?
You know what? I must have blocked that out of my memory. I don't remember
Yeah.
that. How old were we? Maybe I
Nothing
was too
stuck,
young.
obviously.
Absolutely nothing stuck. Rob did a bunch of drugs in college.
I just
and
fried
nothing
those
has
memories
stuck.
away.
What would Jesus do? Come on.
Right. But I mean,
knows?
if I didn't remind Rob that we were friends in high school, he wouldn't know who I am.
No, I don't. Yeah, the Jesus thing didn't really rub off on me much either. But I think Rob, I think you were like 5.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that makes sense. I don't
Oh,
remember that.
5-year-old little Robbie.
He was super cute. Yeah.
Which Rob went by Robbie for a long time. Like you were Robbie right before you moved to Pinckney.
No, I wasn't Robbie in early high school in Rochester.
Oh, you weren't?
No.
Oh, I like to imagine
Maybe
that
to
you
some
were.
family members, I could see. Yeah, maybe that.
I'm gonna start calling you Robbie.
Let's.
Very cute.
We don't need to revisit that nickname.
No?
No? Our producer, Robbie Hubbard. So the best thing about Robbie is his cousin. And because Robbie and I were friends in high school, I got to meet all these cool people, especially Dori. And I think, like, we were talking about this before the podcast, my favorite is, like, one of the first times I, like, really got hammered was because of Robbie's dad. We were all camped out. I would spend, like, half my Christmas time I would spend with Robbie's family. Robbie, I'm just going to call you Robbie forever. Yeah, because he was, like, right down the street from me. You know, we were, like, 10 minutes away from each other. And my family would be like, look, we're done. Okay, we ate dinner. You open your fucking presents. Get out of here. And so I would go and hang out with Robbie and his family. And we were hanging out. And Dori was and we were all crashed out in the living room. And Robbie and I were being stupid, and we'd had a few drinks, and we were getting silly. And and
We were
being
trying to play
loud
Nintendo, yeah, and Dory was right there, trying
right
to sleep
there.
on the couch.
In my defense, I had been drinking since like 10 a.m.
Wow. Yeah,
Christmas Day, for Christ's
I
sake.
got a late start, so we didn't start drinking until like after 6. So we were still giddy and having a good time. She was clearly ready to sleep, and so Rob's dad came in and was like, "All right." And I don't know, like, this is only your dad who would think this. I have 2 people who are being loud. How do I quiet them down? More booze. So that was one of the first times I did shots. Like, we did shots of
Tequila.
whiskey. No, what was it? Seagram 7?
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah.
Seagram 7.
And that's when I learned Rob Hubbard cannot do shots.
I also took a 2-liter of 7-Up with that Seagram's.
Oh, you remember the glass of water?
What? No, what?
He put a glass of water down and 2 shots, and he was like, "Okay, now there's a glass of water here.
It was like a challenge.
Real
yeah.
men don't need that glass of water. If you need it, it's there for you. But just so you know, real men don't use the water."
Robbie was saying this?
No, Robbie's dad.
Oh, okay.
And so Robbie is sitting there sipping his drink like it's like a little cup of tea. And I'm slamming him back, just like tears streaming down my face. Just too cool to hit that water. It was awesome.
water. That's funny.
Needless to say, it didn't work. We just got louder and more drunk.
Belligerent, yeah.
And
You kept
Dory decided that she would just fuck it and join in.
Oh, that's
Much
right.
of-
That's
yeah.
right. It was awesome.
That's
You're the coolest ever.
Yep.
So a lot has happened since then, and you now have a beautiful, wonderful family. How did the idea for this? Tell us a little bit about the blog, and then like where the idea for it came from.
Well, the blog is jgdiaries.com, and JG stands for Jane Goodall. And
Yep.
not to be mistaken with the wonderful scientist and philanthropist Jane Goodall, who studies the apes. No, I kind of I saw Gorillas in the Mist when I was like in junior high school or something, and
Yeah.
Sigourney.
yes, with Sigourney Weaver, yeah, and that's how I first got introduced to Jane Goodall. And then sitting around one day watching my 2 boys act like puppies, like just wrestling on the ground and like kicking each other in the face and punching pulling each other's hair and they just were so weird to me. Like once Henry got big enough to move around, they just never stopped wrestling. And Herb is like a giant kid, so I feel like I'm surrounded by these boys, like just doing boy things. I'm like an only girl in this house, and I started to realize that I was going to have to study and learn the ways of the monkey people. If I was going to be any kind of mom, I was going to have to understand these creatures. And so I would joke to my friends that I was like Jane Goodall, and I should start taking notes. And I've been wanting to be a writer for a long time. I wrote a novel that's still in editing, but learning about getting published and the whole business of writing, you're supposed to have a blog. And I was like, I don't know about writing a blog about writing. And I read a bunch of those blogs by authors, and they're all about how to be a writer or what books to read. And I just was bored even thinking about trying to do something like that. So I just started doing this.
Awesome.
Well, I am a huge fan. I think one of my favorite ones, it's just a really short little one, just to give folks an idea. A lot of them are sort of conversations that are real conversations, yes?
Yeah.
Yeah, that she has recorded. And so I think it was the one that says, it's called Brothers. And he says, "We are terrible dinosaurs and we are best friends," a growling 6-year-old declares. "Roar," his brother agrees. "But sometimes I get grumpy and try to eat you." Oh, kids.
That's pretty much it. One of my favorite ones was one of my very first posts from last year, because I've been doing this for over a year now. I was really surprised to realize that.
Awesome.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so I was going back and reading stuff from last year, and like one of the very first posts I did was Frankie was telling a joke. A year ago he was 5 and he was really interested in telling jokes, and so he was trying to deliver a punchline. He was trying to get all the words out, and I was listening very carefully so I would hear it and laugh at the right time. And his brother is like somewhere in the background, and the punchline, I'm like laughing, and Henry just trots up and punches his brother right in the face.
Oh my God!
Kind of like, and punches him, and my jaw dropped, and I was like, what the, and Frankie laughed, and it was fine, because that's what monkeys do, apparently. I don't know, I don't understand these people. I'm very journalistic about it. I try not to interfere with my subject.
Sure,
I just
sure.
record what I see. And I actually wrote one while you guys were doing the earlier part of the show.
Oh,
You
yeah?
did?
About a grocery store trip that happened today.
Oh, will you tell us about it? Can you
Can we
share
get a
that
preview of this post?
Well, in order to get the boys excited about going to the store, which, you know, every boy loves to go to the store,
Sure.
Dope.
my husband decides that they have to pick army names for their mission. Like, we're going on a mission.
Awesome.
Pick army names. And at first they're not really interested, but then they start talking about army names and like what the different ranks are. And yeah, I think that Frankie's name was Sergeant Razor. What was it?
Sergeant Razor Power.
Razor Power. And Henry picked Lieutenant Braxton Fraley Garfield. Very specific about that's who he wants to be. And then they went to the store, and that's pretty much it. But I just think it's funny.
How old are the boys? They're 4 and
7.
4 and 6. Well,
4 and 7.
Going to be 7.
going to be 7 next week. Yep.
Wow.
I love the tagline for the blog, where everything ends in poop and all of the toilet seats are up.
Yeah, that's pretty much my life. I just last night I went to the bathroom in the middle of the night, and yep, my ass hit just the wall.
Whoa.
Oh.
You live with a bunch of monkey boys.
I do. I'm surrounded by dick.
So it's funny. I actually grew up in the opposite world, having 4 sisters, being the only boy, and I remember one of the first birthday parties I went to in like 5th grade. I mean, I'd gone to birthday parties before, but it was sort of like the first like big birthday party, and it was this boy, and it was like him and like 10 other boys, and literally like they just all started wrestling. And it was like this big hour-long wrestle party, and I've never been more scared in my life. I was like, why do people do this? This is not what I do at home with my family.
Why you didn't roll into the middle of that and start body slamming people?
I eventually did. I was, I totally
bouncing off the ropes and
yeah, I did it, man.
Yeah, you'd be pretty dangerous in a mosh pit, I can tell.
Yeah, I was good, but it was weird at first. I was like, this is super foreign.
I know. Well, I grew up with an older sister and a younger brother who was, you know, not surrounded by other boys. Like, he was totally poisoned by his older sisters. We used to tie him up and put fingernail polish on him.
Oh yeah.
Man.
Yeah, I used to be the living doll for my sisters. Like,
Oh gosh.
they dresses, heels, mom's bra, everything. Yeah.
That tells a lot.
My
Hey
brother,
now, take it easy. Just because I enjoy dressing up as a woman on weekends does not mean I'm not secure in my sexuality.
it's probably enhancing. Come on.
That's
So,
right.
My brother spent many hours playing Barbies with me.
See, there you go.
Oh.
And he's a very sensitive man now. But this whole boy-on-boy, like you were talking about that birthday party, one of my blog posts was when last year at Frankie's birthday party, I posted Thunderdome. My picture was Tina Turner. Because
Yeah.
there were 15 boys down there, and within 2 seconds, like, everyone had a weapon of some kind. And they were sword fighting and mashing Legos together, and every toy we owned was instantly dumped on the floor, and it was just bedlam. It was just like wall-to-wall freak show. And at one point, I was like, this is my house, and I've got all these kids, and thank God there weren't 1,000 parents there, like, watching the chaos. But I finally just had to say to them, okay, you guys, if anybody cries, we're taking all the swords away. I'm like, if anyone comes up crying,
That's good.
I'm taking all the swords away. I'm like, those are the rules. I was like, the law.
Yeah.
No
There were
problem.
a lot of little boys holding back tears downstairs. They're like,
Yeah, because they were like,
I
this
can't
is
take it. I can't.
this
I don't
ain't-
want them taking the sword away.
right. This ain't Thunderdome. There aren't any laws in Thunderdome. Who is
Right.
this lady? making laws.
That's awesome.
Laws in Thunderdome. And I was like, they lasted an hour. They lasted a full hour before someone got upset that someone took their sword away or.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I was the total winner on that one. But yeah, it's like a fight. It's ridiculous.
You were Tina Turner.
I totally was.
Rob, this is what you have to look forward to, my friend.
When those two children start fighting, it's gonna get crazy.
Hey, have you found out you don't know what the other gender is yet, do you?
Nope,
Or
not till
I
January.
suppose it's sex, not gender, right?
Well, whatever.
Because gender is fluid, but sexuality is based on organs. There's a little trick for power to the people. Okay, but you don't. When do you know, Rob?
When he or she is born, that's when we find out.
Oh, you're going for
I
that,
know.
huh? Going
That's
for
what
the
I'm asking.
surprise.
I'm asking, when's the baby due?
January 18th.
Oh my gosh!
I know.
So you're gonna have like little Beyond Thunderdome matches and stuff. It's gonna be awesome.
Yeah, man, it's gonna be two boys.
Starting that day.
Has Wesley met the monkeys?
No.
Oh, actually, no. You guys live so far away for so long, but the monkeys and Wesley will meet. I hope this holiday season. Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
Woo.
Yeah, they love little guys, so it's gonna be fun. Little recruits into the wrestling. I promise I won't let them tackle Wesley too hard.
He can hold his own.
They're gonna stuff bananas in his mouth.
I'll make sure he can hold his own.
Well, I almost feel like boys that have just sisters or whatever, like we actually joke. I have some friends who have like one boy and a girl, or like their boy is just not very rough or hanging out. I'm like, bring them to my house. They can hang out and just load up on testosterone, and it'll be awesome. And we toughen them up over at Cat's house. Yep.
It's like a little gym at your house where these guys are just like pumping iron and just trying to like wrestle with people that come over and bash things over their heads. It is like a little. It's like Sparta.
Frankie would totally lift weights right now if I let him. Like he's just every once in a while he'll do push-ups in his room because
What?
Yeah.
This like a little criminal.
Right. He's in his room doing CrossFit. He's like,
I gotta stay fit for when I'm out in the yard.
I know, but no, the other day I tried to get him to change his dirty clothes, and he told me, "No, Mom, I want to have dirty clothes. It makes me look tough."
No, it makes you lose friends.
It just makes me look like a dirtbag. And I'm like,
Yeah, that's how you become the stinky kid. Tell him, I know from experience.
I feel like I could probably receive some tips from your sons about being more manly.
More
"You want to
masculine.
come over and play?"
Yes, we do. Both of us want to come over and play. Well, so what's your sort of, I don't know, long-term goals for the blog or for your writing or anything? Where do you hope this goes?
A feature film, book deals.
It's really something mostly for my family and friends. Like those are the people who follow what I do. I wish if I wasn't working, I have a business that I'm trying to run out of my house, and if I had time to do it every day, maybe the blog would go somewhere else. But for now, my goal with it is just it's a fun record. Like it's like almost like a personal diary at this point.
Absolutely.
Where go ahead.
What's great is that it's very entertaining for parents and they can relate to what's going on with you and your boys and all that stuff. So it's pretty cool. But like you said, it's definitely a record of, and you guys can look back on it and be like, remember this?
Right, like Chuck and I are gonna do with this podcast.
Be like, remember that very dark time in our life?
Oh man.
I think I'm going to make it into a book at some point, because at some point they're going to be too old for me to post silly things about them. Like I can't be blogging about Frankie jerking off in the shower or like, having I don't even want to be at my house once those boys hit 12. Like I'm
right.
Like I bet the walls are going to grow hair. It's just going to be
seriously
a horribly stinky place to be. And
yeah.
I have a feeling that they would resent, that kind of exposure at that time. But so when they get a little too old, I'll just wrap it up and make a little book for my own keepsake. And unless I don't know, we'll see. But that's kind of how I see it going.
Awesome.
My writing's a different story. I've got another idea here. Tell me what you think about this idea for a blog.
Okay.
I like mysteries, and the novel I wrote is a mystery, and I have bought the name Mysterious Cleveland. Like I own that URL.
Oh wow.
Oh.
And I love the idea of having like a website that tells spooky stories from Cleveland, mostly focusing on haunted buildings because there is a bunch of haunted places in Cleveland.
Absolutely.
Stories. There's also, I've been doing a little research, there's police blotters like Unsolved Crimes, and there's a couple authors. Have you guys ever heard of the book They Died Crawling?
No.
There's a local author here that writes these true crime stories about like bodies being found in the basement, like down over in South Euclid, and like just really creepy stuff. And I'm sure you've heard about Ariel Castro and his weird little horrible harem
Yeah.
last 10 years. And not that I want to do sex crimes, but anyway, I just I'm thinking that might be fun. And there's a couple local writers that I would love to collaborate with. And so when I have all the time in the world, I'd like to work on that. I think that might be something I could actually post to every day.
Yeah, that sounds like
awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a great idea.
So you do that, and we'll have you on the show next year for our Halloween episode.
Oh, that would be awesome.
That would be awesome. Until then, folks, I mean, even if you don't know Dori, these are still really funny blog entries. So go to jgdiaries.com and read the Jane Goodall Diaries, and you will not regret it. Dori, thank you for being on the show.
Thank you for having me. This was really fun.
Yeah, we'll let you get to sleep, and I'm going to go to sleep because I'm old, and this sucks. It's late.
And this sucks.
Like, not you. Just staying up late sucks. And hanging out with Chuck sometimes sucks.
Easy.
I enjoyed myself, but yes, I am tired. I am going to go to bed. So thank you guys.
Yes,
thank
thanks
you, Dori.
to you.
Good to see you.
Thanks
for
the
sharing.
monkeys for letting us steal you for a while.
Thanks, bye.
Bye, Dori.
And we'll see you next time. Because we're going to have her on again, Rob, just so you know.
I think you're a monkey.
You're a monkey. I love that vlog. Awesome. Well, folks, that's about all the time we have this week. Thank you for hanging out with us. Once again, a reminder to give money to the typhoon relief, the cyclone relief.
Save my family.
Save Chuck's
my
family.
friends.
And check out the Jane Goodall Diaries, where everything ends in poop and all the toilet seats are up.
Yes, and after that, go to our Facebook page, facebook.com/WestXMidwest, and like it to get all our info and posts.
Like it!
Follow and tweet at us at Twitter, at West_X_Midwest is the handle.
Yeah, maybe if you tweet at us, we'll actually start tweeting.
Probably not, though.
Probably not.
Just do it. Email at us if you want at westxmidwestpodcast@gmail.com. Search West X Midwest on YouTube, and you can watch rebroadcasts of this show and previous shows and little teasers for episodes and stuff on our YouTube channel. But most importantly, subscribe, stream, download, and write a review on iTunes. Just search West X Midwest to find the show on iTunes.
And most importantly, tell somebody about us. Let people know we exist. Thanks again, folks, for listening.
If two men have a podcast and nobody listens to it, do they make a sound?
Do they make a sound?
I'm starting to doubt that.
Oh.
All right, thanks for joining us, guys. We'll see you next week. I'm Chuck Anchori.
I'm Errol Gribble. On behalf of Rob Hubbard, this has been
Robbie Hubbard.
Robbie Hubbard by Midwest. We'll see you next week.